Hi everyone, my name is Bruce Swartz. Thanks so much for stopping by to check out the research. This is this morning's moon, January 28th, 2019. I got some amazing flashes of lights around it. One I could see until I slowed it down even more and was able to see some kind of interaction, a definite, confirmed interaction with another light very close to the moon, which is not a star, that was flashing at the same time, two or three lights, and we'll see that. Of course, these are fast and quick events, so I slow them down and I try to give you guys the best view possible. So we'll take our time, we'll zoom in, let's take a quick look, and I'm analyzing the flashes that I'm finding beside the moon, around Mars, around other planets, and there are different. Some of them are similar. Some of these flashes look like explosions. Some of them not so much. Some of them I believe that are UFOs, propulsion. That's what we're seeing at the back sometimes. That could be a flash of a UFO taking off. Well, we're going to get in even closer. We're going to slow it down even more, and we're going to take a look at the other lights in the vicinity of the moon, very close to the moon. There's one, and there, watch at the same time. They both light up when that flash hits. And again, I'm not going to waste my time fighting with you guys. I know it's not a star. If not, I would not have even mentioned it. I know what a star looks like with a P900. And it disappears, by the way. As the footage continues, it's gone. But it appears, see, first the flash way up near the moon, then the second flash, and then both simultaneously flashing. And the flash is pretty intriguing. So we're going to get in a lot closer to see it there. That was live. That's why you're seeing it move up as I'm zooming in. Looks like several flashes. So there's a spot on the left there too. It could have hit, right? I believe that there could be some asteroids. I actually believe that there are a lot of asteroids around Earth. And I've seen them for myself. I've shown you them also in past videos. Less this year. You see, I don't get asteroids as much. I don't see them. At one point last year during the summer, it was getting pretty crazy, and I was able to get an abundance of unknown celestial objects, like planetoids, pretty big, and they were in the solar system. Then NASA started declaring all of these objects in lower Earth and, asteroids, that Oumuamua, that asteroid that NASA themselves believe it is alien, and that it's advancing itself in some sort of way. I'm sure we'll hear more, or maybe not, about that. So this was the moon this morning. Just before daylight, you're going to actually see the light come up. I'll get the frame in here, the next frame, and you'll see how, the transition, the birds were out. It wasn't too long that the moon was up. I started at 6:45, so the sun was up at 7 a.m., 7:05, and I just wanted to see what I could get. So guys, I filmed the moon for like 10, 15 minutes, and I got those flashes of lights. But now we're going to make a quick comparison before going to see some nice close-ups of craters on the moon and lines side by side by the hundreds. Guys, it looks like CERN. That's exactly what it looks like. There's a flash on the moon you just saw, an explosion. Here's one beside Mars that, you could tell it doesn't look like an explosion so long. It looks like a light lighting up with an actual shape, whether it be because of the distance or not. It could be the moons around Mars, I was thinking. It still could be, absolutely. But, I'm examining the way the flashes look like when they light up. And I'm telling you, a lot of flashes are different. We can see blue flashes, green flashes, yellow flashes, or very red intense flashes like this morning's flash, which is definitely UFO propulsion. I'm almost sure of it. The burners, I had no vision of the UFO because it was too dark, but we could definitely see the color of what looks like probably a burner or something. This on August 18th, 2018, but I want you guys to know that it's on the Terminator line on the dark side. When that moon phase line is moving over. It was about a half moon, and we could see this pretty cool flash, and this was August 18th, 2018. I think basically every month I got one. So these are the differences. In the middle it's Mars, beside the moon on the left this morning, and on the moon, one of the flashes on the 18th. Different types of flashes that we see. This itself is on the lunar surface, but again, it wasn't an explosion because it's a light that lit up and then took a while to go out. Yes, listen, it's in slow motion right now. So of course it is slower than the real thing. But still, it wasn't an explosion. Look how long it takes for that darn light to go out. So different types of UFOs. We see this cloud-like UFO, but now we're seeing many at the same time. We're seeing dark UFOs. We're seeing very bright UFOs. We're seeing objects, lights that are stationary, or probably stationary, or UFO stationary, lighting up, but simultaneously. So we're talking hundreds of miles wide. We're all out at the same time, like a town, right? All those lights lighting up. So now it gets pretty interesting. I'm focusing, and you will too, over on the complete right side of the moon. From the center all the way to the half that you see at the end on the right. There is a grill-like lines that are side by side crossing paths like a graph paper. And I'm not kidding in any way. They all run along this big line that has maybe 10, 15 bumps. And well, it's a bit further in the video, so I'll get some music up, and when the music ends, I'll explain to you guys where I see all of these grid lines. Looks like power lines, massive lines. Maybe they're buildings. I don't know what they are. Tell you what, they're definitely constructed. Right after this. And we're here. As some of you may remember, I have shown this with the D3400 on the telescope, the smaller camera, the less good quality camera. These lines. Can't say you can't see them, and it's not pixelation. And no matter how clear I get this area, they are always there. And the clearer it gets, the more we can see them. They are connections because they are connected to a massive line at the end there. It looks totally constructed. Just to the west, there's another bumpy area here. See all the bumps or squares side by side? The connections are connected to that on this side. I'm sure of it. And what is the setup? What are the connections going? It's not ejecta. You're not going to tell me there's 10 lines of ejecta following each other over mountains. Come on. Let's take the time to zoom in close enough to see that what I just mentioned, the grid line. It's a bunch of bumps side by side. It looks like, batteries. There's a bunch of bumps on the surface. What do you want it to be if it's connected to something like that? It must be some kind of energy source. Maybe massive energy power generators right there. I mean, look at the symmetry in that. Side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all side by side. And then just over to the right, a little bit of that, we see all these lines. Those of you Canadians here and Quebecers familiar with Hydro-Quebec, you must recognize that it definitely looks like literally the CERN, a Hydro-Quebec setup where all those big power lines and gates that they have closed in with all these big transformers in them. And you see all these lines running across the surface here, and you got to wonder what they are. And how, 1, 2, my gosh, there must be about 15 of them side by side in an area of maybe a couple of hundreds of miles. What the heck are these things, They look constructed, that's for sure. Christy Lindsay, thanks so much for the generous contributions and for being a part of this community.